So, as I say, I'll ask Graham a few questions, but that won't last long. And well, you're used to this now, anyway. Then you can ask whatever questions you want. One thing I will ask: I already turned off my mobile phone. Can you please turn off your mobile phones? Because apparently it's a fine if one goes off and it's yours. Okay? I'm just going to check mine once more. Okay, so here we go. Great, Wesley. Oh yeah, hang on, sorry. I've got one more thing to do first. I should tell you, well, another man who needs no introduction is the president of Newport County AFC. That's Mr. David Hanna, who's got a presentation for you.
It simply says, welcome to Graham Wesley, and it's got the date on it. So that's to you. I have to say I've run out of shield, so speak with us.
Thank you very much. Should tell you the inscription is in chalk. Okay. Graham, first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
Why come to Newport County?
Well, I was honest enough, I think, in the press to say, and by the way, thanks so much for so many of you coming. It's an amazing attendance. Really massive welcome from Dino's point of view. I know Dean knows you anyway, but from my point of view, massive attendance. I really appreciate you coming out. Thank you. Why Newport? I was honest in the press, and I said I didn't put my CV into the club when the job was available. The club was sitting at the bottom of the Football League. I didn't really know from the outside what the club's ambitions were, and I didn't have a sense of where the club wanted to go. It's a distance from where I live, and for those reasons, it wasn't a job that made me put my CV in. Flemmy rang me, first of all, on behalf of the board, and said, would you come and have a chat with the board? The directors would like to speak to you. And I said to him, I think my words were something along the lines of, look, I'd never be disrespectful to anybody and say no if they asked to have a conversation with me, because you never know what come of any conversation. But so from the outside, I've not got the sense that Newport County wants to go places, and I don't think I'd be a very good manager managing a club that was intent on just surviving in the Football League. I think when I'm doing a job, I like to feel that I can go and win something, that the club is progressive, it wants to go somewhere, and if I was going to join a League 2 club, I worked really hard to get out of League 2, to get into League 1. If I was going to drop back into League 2, then I'd want to feel that the club was as ambitious as I would be to want to move forward. And he said, look, I think you should come and meet the directors. They're not going to be able to pump tons of money in, but in terms of what they can offer, in terms of the spirit, the support, the sense of belief they have in you, the sense of community there is at the football club, the way the fans and the board are united, the place operates as one, I think we should kind of have a conversation. And Flinny speaking to me was terrific. Malcolm Temple then spoke to me on the phone and sold that vision further, had a word with Gavin, and then I had a word with the board, and as a body of people, they brought me in really to the vision. I was talking to Dino about it, and he was there when I said, I don't really think it's for me. From the outside, he said, I think you should go and have a conversation. That was before you got a drum. But I met the people and said to Dino, we had a chat as I was going back, and said, do you know what, I think this could be the place for us. I think there is ambition there. There is a sense of togetherness. There's, 1989 and all that, and the club has got this real sense of purpose. The directors are right there. They're driving a club that's got supporters united with them. I think it's going to be a really good place to go. And the welcome that I've had since I've been here bears all of that out. Everybody has been so good to me, it's unbelievable. Whether it be the staff around the training ground, whether it be the people that I've met in the gym, whether it be the people that I've met around the football club, everyone's been so warm. And I think that we can be really good as a team at harnessing that. And if we get the lads harnessed with us and harnessed with everybody in this room and all sides, I think this club's got a chance of going somewhere.
But you are the fourth in that hot seat in just over a year. Does that worry you, or does that show a sign of where the club is? Obviously, one left with John Sheridan went, in a sense that no Newport County fan would have wanted him to leave. But how does that suit from the outside? How do you look at that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not Warren, I'm not John, I'm not anybody that's gone before me. And I can only listen to the things that have been said to me, and I can only trust that I can do the job I know I can do. So I've asked the question to people and said, what is available to me in terms of resources? When I say resources, I don't mean you have to spend fortunes to be successful. You have to work hard to be successful. You don't have to have millions of pounds to move from the bottom of League 2 into League 1. You have to work smart, you have to have a lot of football knowledge, and you have to inspire footballers to want to put one leg in front of the other. I've watched 17, 18-year-old kids on the training ground prepared to break a leg to win a five-a-side match this week. And I've seen quality coming out of some of those young kids that if we harness it, can go and win matches, millions or not. So it's hard work, it's brain power, it's intelligence, it's football knowledge, and trust me, just here, there's plenty of all of those things. So I'm not one of the previous managers. I don't intend to be like the previous managers. If I was going to be like the previous managers, and I say respectfully then, I wouldn't get in.
Dino, tell us what people can expect from Graham, because you've worked alongside him. You know him as probably better than anybody else in this room.
Passion from his team. You see a team that cares about the badge, cares about the football club. I think the fans will be proud of the team that the gaffer will produce. And the biggest thing I think will make the football club united, from players to staff to everybody else, to the fans. I think that's a big one as well. But I'm sure that you hear all the story and everything else. But let me tell you, he's a winner through and through. And I know I played for him and I worked for him, and it's a difficult one because when you're out for jobs sometimes you get certain offers to go coaching wise, and I turned down various coaching offers elsewhere, and he's the only one I probably work for him just because our ethos, I think, the same. We see the same game. Yeah, we differ in various aspects of football because that's football, isn't it? Sometimes we don't agree on things, but I think the big picture we always agree on. There is certain ethos in a team, in a football club, that we strongly agree about, and that's what probably attracted me more than anything else to work for it.
Do you ever say no?
Particularly in corners.
Do you ever say no? Do you ever say no, Graham, you're wrong? And Graham, if he does, what do you do?
I'm sure he'll answer that.
If someone's got biceps like that, mate, and they say no, you just go with it.
No, because I judge a number two on whether they're happy to stand up to the manager and say, actually, think again? Or have you thought about this?
No, I don't think the gaffer would employ me and would keep me with him all this time if I was just a yes man.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know that role pretty well. What you got to do is, and I had the privilege of being a number one and a number two. And I appreciate when I was number one what my number two I need from him. So the first thing, give me your honest opinion. And second, I hear your opinion. And then after that, when we go out to the room, whatever the opinion was, we agree on our opinion. His or mine, and we've got to stick to that one.
I think that each of us sitting here are all strong men in our own right. I've got my own point of view, my own personality. Flinny, Dino, all strong men. I don't think any of us would sit alongside each other if we didn't respect that the other one was a strong man. If you're a strong man in yourself and you've got strong men around you, you've got to be prepared to respect the opinion, and you've got to be prepared to bring that together. If you're a clown and you sit here and you say, I'm right, what you say doesn't matter, you're never going to bring them with you, you're not going to lead people. So the job of work we've got is, what can we agree upon? And then the disagreements, how do we work them out so that we get the best result for the football club? So it's not an ego thing between us, it's about combining our knowledge and making sure that you get a football team that goes on that pitch and wins football.
Glennie, what have you said to Graham about what he is inheriting? And Graham, tell me what you've seen with your own eyes. Glennie, please.
Well, I think obviously we're bottom of the table. Graham, he's a very intelligent man. He knows what he's inheriting, yeah. But at the moment I spoke to him, I'm going to say that, I'm not just saying this, he sat next to me, he oozed of professionalism, he oozed of being a winner. And as soon as I spoke to him, I spoke to the board and I said, look, I think you definitely need to do all you can to get him there. Just being with him the last few days, it's been unbelievable for me because, you know, I've said to Graham, I've said to Dino, I want to learn. I just want to keep learning. That's what I want to do. I want this club to do well, and anything I can do, I want to, you know, I want to be able to do it. And if I can learn off these two, with how professional and how dedicated they are, hard working, then I'm in the wrong game. So I know that's not right. I believe in myself, and you know, like I said, I want to learn. So Graham knew what he was coming into, but I'm telling you, I'll be honest with you, I've watched the games this season, I've watched lots of the games, I haven't watched any training, and I can't believe, you know, the talent we have actually got in the room, you know, in the dressing room. So it's just about Graham, Dino, myself now bringing the best in them, getting them organised, making sure they're ready to go out on a Saturday, because like I said, I think there are some good players in the change room, so you know, we've definitely got something to work with.
Graham, what have you found? You've seen a game, probably seen more than one game, have you? Or?
Yeah, I watched the game against Swansea, and I watched the game on Saturday. And obviously I know a lot of the lads anyway, I've seen them over the years. There's plenty of talent at the football club, no question. Bringing the best out, and bringing the best out of the team is the key. We did a session this morning, and you could see the defence growing in confidence as the system of organisation was understood by them, and they did what was being asked, and they got the results that they were being told they would get, and they grew in confidence, grew in strength. You talk to the likes of Joe Day, the likes of Darren Jones at the end, and say, how'd you find it? It's just what we needed. We needed that. That's given me a sense of belief that we can go and keep clean sheets. That's given me a sense. Now, there'll be famous last words, I guess, but I feel as though the players, you know, want from us what we've got. I feel as though they're taking on board what we're trying to give them, and there's been a good response. And I look at the training ground. I'm not speaking to the chairman every evening and saying can't wait for January. I'm speaking to him in the evening and saying we've got an array of riches here. We've got a lot of talent here. Of course we've got to bring it together, and you know, of course there might be work that we need to do, but honestly, like Vinny says, there is some real talent on that training ground, and we've watched some really good training sessions.
I think my colleague Mark Boyser was quoting Sean Riggers saying today it was tougher, was it, or more physical, the training? You tell me.
I don't know.
Is that how the players have found it?
Well, the treatment room's full, so so I guess something's happened. But then that's a really good way of making selection easy. So if I get to Saturday and I've got only 11 fit, then it makes life really easy. So people think we're daft, but you've got 25 players, injured 14, and you've got your team pick.
It's a normal approach, isn't
it? I'm joking. But I don't know, I can't say what went before. I don't care what went before. Everyone's got their own philosophy. I would never knock any manager, because a manager is working in the way that he thinks best and in the way that he thinks right for that group of players. And I can't talk for what he was seeing and the reasons why he was doing things and the reason why things were being done in a certain way. I'm sure that any manager who's working in the Football League has got a plan and has got a vision, and sometimes managers get it wrong, and they don't get it wrong because they don't know what they're doing. They just pick the wrong formula for that group of lads, and it happens. And you know, managers pay the price, and no one feels sorry for managers when they pay the price. And it's happened to me, and when it happens to you, you look back and you think, do you know what? I should have done that differently. I could have done that differently. So I've walked in. I felt that we need to make sure that we don't concede late goals. I felt that we need to get a little bit more drive about ourselves. I've felt that we need to get more organisation about ourselves, and I felt that we need more fighting spirit. You're not at the bottom of the league for no reason. And I think if you get legwork and organisation and fighting spirit into people, then you've got a starting point. And if the players start getting hungry to win and they start getting a sense of how to beat the next opponent, we might give ourselves a chance. So all we've really done this week is just try and put a system of organisation in our attacking play, a system of organisation in our defensive play, improve their physical strength, improve their physical fitness, and get them understanding what winning looks like. And And if you get that in as the basics in the first 2 or 3 days, which is what we tried to do, I think we'll be in a better place for the weekend to tear these to pieces.
And obviously, your reputation goes before you in that you had successive promotions with Stevenage. I mean, you had a long apprenticeship, didn't you? Had to give up playing when you were 28 because of an injury. And then you had quite a lot of non-league clubs. But then took Stevenage into the league and successive promotions in 2011 into League One. What is the ambition for Newport County this season to start with?
To beat Yeovil on Saturday. Because if you get ahead of yourself, you start thinking about anything beyond that, then you're not focused. And our first port of call, well, don't get me wrong, we've had a conversation today about the home form and about what it is about Newport County that means that it's won how many? 5 in 43 or something at home. I mean, what? We went 3 years at Stevenage without losing a game at home. And I expect our home ground to be a place, believe me, our home ground will be a place people don't like coming. But I don't know how yet it will be a place people don't like coming, and I don't quite know what's been wrong. We've got to work that out. So we're fathoming that out because next Saturday we want to take this other lot to pieces. We want to show that top of League 2 ain't such a clever position as people think. You know what I mean? It's not Premier League opposition. And we may be bottom, but that's what's gone. Like what's here now is us, and we won't play like bottom of the table people, and our team won't play like bottom of the table people either. So we're getting ready in the back of our minds for that because there's a little bit of planning to do. But our entire focus and the players' focus, they hear nothing apart from Yeovil. They are looking at Yeovil's players, they're looking at Yeovil's set pieces, they're looking at what we can do to hurt them. The weaknesses in their defensive line, how we're going to isolate their lack of pace in the back. They're looking at those things, and that's where our focus lies. And you start getting ahead of yourself and start thinking about what you're going to do at the end of the season, where you're going to go and celebrate the promotion. Trust me, you don't ever get success. You've got to keep your eye on the ball.
I think we're redirecting the River Usk as well, but get on to that. That's a long-term goal.
Is that a song?
You'll see when the rain comes down, don't worry. Singing in the rain normally. Right, enough of my questions. I'll open it up to the floor now. Don't be shy. Who wants to ask there we go. So just give us your name and who you want to speak to and fire away.
I'm Derek Netherway. Our biggest problem this season has been right at the beginning of games and right at the end of games. We've dropped so many points in the first 2 minutes and in extra time at the end of the game. Is that a psychological thing? The players to overcome that they've been there and they've hit those barriers so many times this season. And how do you address right at the beginning of the game or right at the end of the game where we've lost so many points?
We'll all have a different point of view. Some people say concede a lot of late goals tends to be fitness. Some people say if you don't start games right, then mentally your focus isn't right. So that'd be the norm, wouldn't it? But what I think is this as well, that teams that win, teams that are ready to win, teams that are hungry to win, start games well and finish games well. If you're not hungry to win, you tend not to start them or finish them well, because it doesn't matter enough to you. Other teams get out there and they've got that hunger and they bite, and then they finish things off when they need to finish things off. And I'd expect our teams to go on the field of play with a belief that they're going to win. I'd expect them to play through 90 minutes doing the things you need to do to win. And then when the moment comes to cross the finish line, I'd expect them to go through the line. And they're habits that winning people do. They're habits that winning teams have got, and they're habits that I don't believe we won't have, and I do believe we will have.
Who's next? Anybody over here want to ask a question? It's a quick night. Anybody? Sure, there must be somebody. All right, Jeff. There we are. Never disappoints, Graham. This is Jeff.
This season, towards the end of the games, we've had a couple of instances where I think Luton and Grimsby were giving away penalties, and the opposition have dived to buy these penalties. And it's a question I always ask them, the incoming manager: will you instill in our players the thought of cheating? Because we've always tried to play with straight backs, but it's got us nowhere. And we see these sides, they come, they cheat, they scream, they throw themselves down as if they've been shot by a Japanese sniper. And it's about time that we can join them. Can we assume that our side will go out there with this win at all cost mentality like every other side's got?
Is that going out live? Are you going to cheat? Listen, you got. I remember going into the Football League, going away to Oxford United, and Chris Wilder turning around, pointing up to the director's box, and saying to my chairman in the director's box, "You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed." And all that was happening was that one of my lads had been injured, the physio had gone on to see him, and the team had come across the dugout, and we were speaking at the dugout, which is perfectly legitimate. You're allowed to speak at the dugout if one of your players is legitimately injured on the pitch, right or wrong. He was calling it a drinks break. He said it happened in the 22nd minute of every game that we played. Listen, I'm not sure if it's in the 22nd or the 23rd, but it was scheduled for 21. I'm joking, of course. You know, if one of our players happened to get injured in a phase of the game, you know, we took advantage of that to, number one, fuel our players, and number two, if you can communicate with them, then we communicate. It's not against the laws of the game. And if that gave us an advantage and it upset him so much that he's pointing at the director's box, I think you take every advantage that's available to you. I think if you're going to succeed, you need to earn every inch in a game of football. Because, as you point out, other people do it by cheating. But I think you should take every inch that's there for you, and you should grab hold of it, and make sure that they can't get it, you can. And if you add the inches up, they add up to winning. That's what I think. So, we never advocate cheating. You don't need to cheat to win. You need to get every inch you can and take every advantage you can.
I think your point is from the outset is a very valid point, because winning teams, you see winning teams, they upset everybody, don't they? You know, when Chelsea winning with Jose Mourinho, they upset everybody. When Manchester United winning with Alex Ferguson, they upset everybody. Nobody likes them. Trust me, nobody likes winning, because when you've got a winning team, everybody wants to knock you down, don't they? And I think what the gaffers, you know, what we're big on is the marginal gains. So we look at the game, we look where we can improve. If we got a chance in 23rd minute or 30th minute or 75th minute, we concede a lot of goals later on, don't we? Maybe we should focus on that. If their player get injured, why not bring our player over? They can hydrate first, because hydration will get you a little bit more switched on, and then we can liven them up as well. Give them little pointers how to finish the game stronger. And if we can do that within the law of the game, then we're into winning, aren't we? And that's what we're looking to do, really.
I tell you what, the Luton guy who won the penalty was very hydrated, because he was thinking off his feet when he went down in the last couple of minutes, I'm telling you. Name and question, please.
Ron, Neil Warnock spoke about you the other night on Radio Wales.
I like Neil, he's a good guy.
Yeah. He said you're a very clever man. He said you were a good match when you bought, but he didn't always agree with all your methods. You mentioned about goal difference, the minus goal difference we have, and the fine margins. I looked at in the last 21 games, that's the end of last season, this season, we've lost 13 games, 10 by 1 goal, 2 2-0 and 1 4-1. So in every game more or less we've been in, we couldn't get across the line. So as you say, the margins are so small, and I think with your methods, you just switch it over a bit.
Yeah, there's so, if you look back at a game of football, and I've done it so many times with teams of mine, where you look at a 1-0 defeat, and you think, what would it have taken not to concede that goal, and what would it have taken to score a goal? What would it have taken to earn the 3 points, not none? And you look at the game and you think, it was so simple. It was a corner where somebody forgot to pick his man up, or forgot to mark him properly. And at the other end, it was somebody forgot to make a certain run that would have freed somebody else up to score a goal at the far post. It comes down to that kind of detail. Winning and losing football matches is that kind of detail. Provided you get the basics right, football comes down to that kind of detail. And our teams have always had that detail on board. We do work on the training ground, a little bit longer, not because we want to tire players out, because we want to make sure that the detail of winning, the marginal gains, the inches, are in our team, not in opponents. And I hope, and I'm sure you will, look at our team as we go forward and think the amount of detail we get right is phenomenal. The amount of inches that they earn is just on another level. And as you talk to us after games and so on, you will come to us and say, I saw what you did there, I saw what happened there, I saw what he did there. That detail, it'll all be detail that adds up to the winning. And I make you totally right, your observation's good. And some of the lads have said to me, we've been in every game. We're in every game. We just switch off. We just forget to do this. We just forget to do that. And yeah, and I know when I walk in, my 19-year-old girl looks at me and goes, loser. Seriously, I don't like that. I don't like it. And I don't like it when my 11-year-old looks at me as if to say, so I'm going to go to school now and everyone's going to rip the arse out of me, because that's the look. It's like, you've gone to work and now everyone in the school is going to be looking at me and going, I don't like doing that to my kids. That's a big motivation to me. I don't like doing it. I like to make sure that the result's right. So you don't like walking out the ground. Trust me, we're on the same page. We feel it like you feel it. We really do.
Graham, don't worry, I get it every weekend from my kids after my commentaries. This gentleman always asks a decent question, this one.
Right, people say you're a kind of physical style play manager, and also you said you want to make some matches at home, people don't want to play there. Can I put in a serious request out of the kindness of my heart? When Luton come here, you make a living hell out of them. I want 11 bookings, at least 5 white cards, before I leave happy.
What did I tell you?
He's playing up front.
They don't forget these fans, they don't forget. Who's next? Yeah.
Mark, so this season we lost against Cambridge 2-1, and the Wednesday or Thursday before that, our ex-manager Warren Beattie said that it wasn't a must-win game. My question to you is, will you be making sure the players know that every game is a game that we should be looking to get 3 points out of?
Yeah, I think if you're in this job, the only thing that you focus on is beating the next opponent. It's all that you do from the minute that you walk back into the changing room on a Saturday night after a game. All you're thinking about, when I talk to the team after the game and debrief them, I'll be talking about the work we need to do during the week, win, lose or draw, the work we need to do next week to make sure that we go and beat the next opponent. That's all we do all week, is think about that. We will be able, every time that we take the field, we will be able to beat the team that we're up against. It's going to be me against you, him against him, us against them. And we have got it in us to be better than them if we want it bad enough and if we are smart in what we do. And there won't be a team that we send out on the pitch, whether we're playing Manchester United or whether we're playing Luton, there won't be a team we send out to do anything other than win. And I can tell you, we will have worked out in our mind how we think we can win that game, whoever we're playing. Whoever we're playing. I'd never call any game a must-win game, because I remember reading a book a long time ago about psychology. I did a master's in organisational psychology. One of the worst words you can ever use is must, because it creates a negative pressure on people. But we'll go in with a will-win attitude to every game that we play. we will believe that we will win every game that we play, and we will do all that we can to get the result that you all want.
Okay, over here, Graham.
Chris Thomas, Graham, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Leadership. Can you just make sure the 11 players that go on our pack that you pick are all leaders? Because every game this season, I've been to every game more or less, home and away, there's been no leaders on the pack. You need people to talk and drive the rest forward, and it's been really quiet this season. And I think that's part of the reason why we are bottom of the league.
I think in this day and age, these things are one of the biggest issues that we've got in sport and in team sport, because kids in this day and age and young men in this day and age spend their lives on these things, communicating via text, communicating via Twitter, communicating via Facebook, via what else? Snapchat, Instagram, WhatsApp, whatever. These things are how kids live their lives. They can't communicate in person. They're not used to face-to-face interaction. They're not used to talking to each other, and they find it very difficult to take criticism. And therefore, when they talk to each other on the pitch and they put demand on each other on the pitch, which you need, they find it tough to accept. We'll spend a lot of time with our players teaching them to communicate face-to-face, man-to-man with each other. Motivation, organisation, encouragement, instruction, problem solving, all require communication skills, and a vital part of our job will be to bring those players out of themselves as human beings. If you haven't got 11 captains, 11 leaders, you don't win football matches, you need organisation, motivation, detail, and all those things require the voice and leaders and communicators. So 100% with you, I couldn't agree more.
Okay, here now, Graham.
Hi Graham, welcome to Newport County.
Thank you.
An issue on your method, experience and youth. This club has got a lot of youth players who are not so much not given a chance, but there's lads out on loan at the moment. Do you go for experience, or would you go for youth? I know it's a question, if they're good enough, they play. We've got lads out on loan, a couple of players, who should be in this squad now. They're not. Whether it's the method of the previous manager or not before, now Mike's on board again. Being an academy manager, he knows the players as well as anybody. But we're bringing in loanees from here, there and everywhere who are not going to be here after January, some of them. But we've still got those lads who I personally, and that's like I go to every single game. There's some good players out there. They've got to be given the chance. I expect you will give them the chance. But is it easier to go out and get a loanee or get a kid who would die for Newport County?
There's so many questions in there. I'll answer them, and then I'll pass it to Flynn and Dean as well, because they'll have good points of view on the subject as well. It's not about youth or experience, it's about ability. It's about the potential of the person that you put in the shirt on to go and do the job you need doing on the pitch. If they are 17, and they're good enough to put in the team. We went to Preston, we inherited a kid called Ben Davis, I think he came here on Ben, didn't he? And I gave Ben his debut age 16, 17 at Preston, because I thought the kid was good enough. He showed appetite, hunger. I had players who, quite frankly, were pulling the shirt on and not putting one foot in front of the other for me, and I thought, you know what, let me get some hunger in there, let me get an appetite in there, and I gave Ben his debut. So I'm the first one to want to put kids in if they're good enough. I also believe in having a pathway for the youngsters. The youngsters of Newport have got families in Newport, have got friends in Newport, and Newport wants its own to come through. Any football club wants its own to come through. And I want to bring Newport's young players through into the team. Because I realise that as a community club, if we're going to get the very best out of the club, we need to bring our kids through into our team. So I'm here to bring those kids through. I'm lucky that Finney's got really good insight into the background, the history and the qualities of the kids that are in the academy, And one of the really important things that Flinney will bring to the equation is the ability. Today he's pointing to one of the lads. I won't name him because it's not fair. But he's pointing to one of the lads and saying, I know that if you get hold of him and mould him like this, that, and the other, I know you will turn him into a player that not only will play for Newport, but that will sell big for this football club. That's the talent we've got here that can be shaped. And when you look at what Flinney was saying about this lad, you can see what he's saying. With the right development pathway, some of these kids can not only succeed at Newport, but way beyond. Now, we've got a good track record of finding young players, not always within our own club. I took Luke Freeman from Arsenal. Luke Freeman's ability, when he was at Arsenal as an 18-year-old, was so clear to me. When Arsenal let him go, I'd worked so hard to get hold of Luke that when he left Arsenal, I brought him in, and of course he's now at Bristol City flying in the Championship. It was obvious that he was going to be available. So sometimes going and getting someone from another club like Arsenal and bringing him in on loan is wise if you think he's going to be an asset for the football club longer term. You should always look to your own first of all, 100% look to your own first of all, because it's a community club and the community spirit builds if you bring your own kids through. But experienced, young, I don't care. I care that they're good enough. Ferguson won the Premier League with Beckham and Scholes and Giggs and all that little lot. And you can't win anything with kids. So you can win things with kids if you get the right quality. If you just throw the kids in for the sake of throwing the kids in, you can get your bottom spanked. And we don't want to get our bottom spanked. We want to go and get results. So we're in the results business, but one of the results we want is a club that knows it's got a management that wants to bring its young players through.
Just one, I think the gaffer there covered everything there, but just one thing is, we're always looking for a winning player. So that winning player could be old, could be young, but we want winning players, winning football, that's what we're going to do. Winning environment is more important because that's where it produces new players from. If we have a winning player with potential, that's even better. And the gaffer's experience in bringing players that can go on from George Boyd, now he's playing Premiership, to Luke Freeman, to Michael Boswick, to Laurie Wilson, Scott Laird, the list goes on. We always brought players through the system, no question about it. And hopefully, we've already been here for 3 days, I think, and with Flinney here, we're already quite impressed with 1 or 2 already. So hopefully, we might see 1 or 2 of them soon.
Well, like Dino said, the gaffer didn't, he answered everything there. But one thing I can say is Tuesday we had a good session, 11v11s. We needed a couple of players, so rang the academy, brought 3 players up. Gaffers doesn't miss a trick. You might think he's not watching; he's watching from the back of his head, I think sometimes. EC, one of the young players, he shone out straight away. Gaffers rang me after training Tuesday. Can we get him in for training Thursday? So again, that just backs up what he's saying. He's come in today, he's trained again. Like I said, I won't mention names because I don't think it's fair. But he's come in, he's been given an opportunity. He's caught the manager's eye early doors. But that player then, going back to the mentality of players, he's got to make sure that whatever he's done to get him in that position, he keeps doing. He don't think, right, I'm training with the first team, I've got the tracksuit on, I could maybe take it easy in the 18s. I can take my foot off the gas because, believe me, a lot of them do it. They think they've made it before they have. So I'm sure the manager won't let him, I won't let him, Dino won't let him. Like I said, we're all winners and we all want to help. Young players all want to help the club. If we can progress them and make money for the club, brilliant. We've done a good job. But like the gaffer said, they've got to earn the right first, whether they're 38 or 18, and that's something which I've seen straight away from the manager. So he's not just saying this now in front of you for the sake of saying it. It is 100% fact that it has happened.
Yeah, my name's Chris. Welcome, Graham, and Dino. I don't think anyone's welcomed you yet. I was glad to actually hear you mention the fans in your open press conference, and obviously fans have got a part to play. Personally, I think you're not going to get a better support than from these guys sitting in this room. If your players go out and prove that they're going to play for the shirt, and obviously you actually show us that we mean something to you guys as well, then the support is going to be second to none. I just want to hear you speak a little bit more about what we can do as fans to help push the team on for you.
I I had a text message come through from Charlie Griffin, and Charlie texted me through and he said, congratulations, you'll enjoy it there. The fans are the most passionate you'll ever come across. And I didn't know, I know what he means, as in I understand the language, but I didn't know what he meant, you know, in terms of Newport. And then I spoke to Reedy, Craig Reed, and Reedy was saying to me, you know, fans are the most passionate you'll ever come across. And, you know, I've managed clubs that have got less and more passionate fans. I understand less and more passionate. I understand when it's so ingrained in people's blood that they literally live their lives for their football club. They live their lives for the next result. And you know, every fan will want to feel that they do, but there's some fans definitely got just that little bit extra. It's so deep inside them. And I think the one thing I would say to you is that it's so deep inside us. You won't believe how intense we are about loving winning with our team. You won't believe it, but we are as ingrained in winning as you are for your result. The fellow over there was saying, I just want you to do to these people what needs doing to them. Trust me, every opponent, we see them as like between us and our dreams, us and our ambitions, every opponent. And we know that every opponent's going to try to do to us what we're going to try and do to them. And we know how deep we've got to dig, and we are going to breed a team that will dig as deep as they need to go to get where they need to get to. And you know, we've got a history of putting a team together. At a smaller club, by the way, it's easier at a smaller club because the players tend naturally to have more ambition. When you go to bigger clubs, one thing I've learned, one thing we've learned, a lot of people have kind of made it. They're on contracts where they don't need to have ambition anymore. The contract kind of, I don't know, has made them comfortable, and perhaps you've got to deal with those people in a different way, and perhaps we learned too late that you've got to deal with those people in a different way, and perhaps I paid the price at Preston for not learning quick enough. You've got to deal with those people in a different way. But we do know how to get a team at a club like this motivated, passionate, and ambitious about winning. And when you get those lads right, you can do what we did at Stevenage. We went conference, League 2, League 1, top 6 of League 1. We were spanking the bums of Reading, who were going up to win the championship that year. We beat the Sheffield Wednesdays 5-1 at home. We smashed Newcastle 3-1 in the FA Cup. We won games against massive clubs because we just were prepared to do so. And we had a hunger and an appetite, and it was transferred into our lads. And you know, football up there or down there, in the end, it is all fine margins. The difference between them and them is fine margins, and provided you get them in, and you're intent about it, and we will be so intent. And I just get the feeling that we'll rub off on you and you rub off on us. And as Dino said right at the beginning, it's about togetherness, and we will go out of our way to build togetherness. It's not because we want to put on a show for you. I won't be sitting here talking to you and telling you lies. Like Flinny said just now, if I say I'm interested in the kids, it's because I'm interested in the kids. If I say I want this to be a club where we're all together and where you know that we're giving you what you want us to give you, then that's what we'll do. We will give you a team that you can look at and go, I'll tell you what, he's true to his word, those boys put one foot in front of the other. You can tell that he encourages them to be winners, that he praises them and rewards them for being winners, and he rips them to pieces if they dare fall short of the standard. And I don't mean to be nasty to them, but I'm just really honest with them about what I see.
When you read the Argus every week, and we played well, but the lads give me everything, but we lost. We don't need to win this game, we lost. And it just rubs off. I write to myself, and I'm not picking out for you, I'll go win or lose. I don't like it. And I got the impression we've got 6 managers passed on. And they'll never be as passionate as us, but it's the job. I don't want you walking after 6 months because somebody comes in and offers you a better job or whatever. We need stability in this club. We've got the players, we need you, the 3 of you, to do your job, and we are back to all the way.
Excellent. Welcome, Graham. Welcome, Dean. Of course, and Mike.
Thank you.
I'll make an observation in this statement. I was going to ask the same question as the colleague about the fans and what we can do. So my statement to you guys, this last 3/4 of an hour, how long it's been absolutely fantastic. I'm taking from this real passion. This is what you would expect from this gang. We'll stand behind you. Yeah, so everything you say, Graham, if you deliver on those words, we'll be right behind you. So on behalf of everybody in this room, we wish you every success and we're right behind you.
Can I just say, I'm an experienced enough, I've got what, 860 games in a dugout. I'm an experienced enough person to know that standing here and delivering good words is easy. That's the easy bit. The difficult bit is getting out there on the training ground and doing the work, travelling around the country with the team and motivating the team, inspiring the team, in the wind, in the rain, in the sleet, in the snow, keeping your own motivation high to motivate them and lead them properly. And we do know what it takes to get there. We've done the mileage and we've got some honours to show that we do know what it takes. And we're here, we mean business. You know, we're putting in a lot of effort to do this job. We are travelling hundreds and hundreds of miles, and we're not doing that for no reason. We don't want any pats on the back for doing that. This is our job, it's our profession, but we're putting in a lot to be here. And you know, Dino's got a young family, he's giving up a lot of time at home to be here, to do this job. That's not an easy give up. You know, he's got a wife, he's got young kids, he's giving up a lot to be here. His only reason for being here is to win, to succeed, to build a career and a future path for himself and for this football club. We know we'll only get back at the football club what we give to the football club, and we will give this football club our lot. If you go and speak to Stevenage fans and say, what about them? They'll tell you about us. They'll tell you that we're not all that, we get out there and do business.
Yeah, no, Brian?